What's up guys, welcome to the video. Today I have Nathan Hills with me. Yes, that is correct. Not Nathan Mills. Nathan Hills, who got first place at the LPG 5-star tournament using what we're going to describe as Brolly Lineage slash Swap slash Storm. So congratulations Nathan on your
Thank you
win.
very much. Thank you.
And yeah, so you won the Battle of the Nathans in
Yes,
the
the Hills
final.
Mills final. I managed to come out on top.
couldn't write that really. But yeah, this you're how long have you been playing the game?
I've been following the game since about set two. I come from a competitive Magic background. And me and a couple of friends were kind of looking at games and things to do in between rounds of larger tournaments, kind of keep our like keep our mentality going and not kind of draining ourselves out while playing the same game. So we looked at Dragon Ball. It started to pick up. We got a couple of decks together, a couple of starters, started playing it. Actually found it was quite interesting. And then our local competitive scene, Mystic Games in Whitney, started picking up. So we decided to try out a bit more on the competitive scene and start kind of progressing the game. So I've been following it since set two. Um, Officially playing not that long. I mean, this deck I probably picked up the week before and played a few nights with it. But at least I know what the game is, and kind of I've been following it for a while.
Nice, nice. It's good to see that new players are coming in as well. So and doing well. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. And yeah, so we'll jump into your deck. This is the deck. I mean, at first when I saw it on stream, I thought it was just Brolly Victory Strike, but looking at the list, it does have some Stormish elements in it. So do you want to just have a quick run through of the build?
Yeah. So initially, obviously, Broly is quite an established archetype at the moment. The main aim of the game is to turn four win with Victory Strike Goku. You normally have quite an aggressive early few turns, making yourself ready to ideally a turn one Bardock, which is why we're running four Bardock and four Successor of Hope just to make sure we can hit that. We then have a swap target. We have two different swap targets. We have the dependable Dynasty Son Goku and Intrepid Dynasty Son Gohan, depending on whether you need a 15k attacker or something on defense that they can't target. You pick obviously pick the Gohan. We then go into turns. Normally on that turn, we're able to self-awaken. If we go turn one Bardock and then turn two swap, attack with our leader, replay the Bardock, we're ready for almost a turn three swap.
Yeah.
So then we swap into Son Goku, either turn two or turn three, depending on whether we were on the play or the draw, whether opponents attacked us. And then normally our turn three is our defensive turn. We hold up combos, make sure we don't die, basically. And then turn four, we swap into Height of Mastery Son Goku, tap our opponent's energy or their blockers, and then awaken our Broly, untap two energy, play Son Goku, the Awakened Power, on top of Height of Mastery, and normally try and hold up Bad Ring Laser. Or we can use our hero's ability and restand him to go for a second attack, which normally wins the game. This build, we've kind of taken some of the flex spots to be a bit more aggressive, because everyone is generally aware that even if they see the Son Goku or don't see the Son Goku, they expect you to have Son Goku, the Victory Strike version. So we have this build which tries to be a bit more aggressive, because obviously if you don't find your Goku, it is sometimes hard to win. So a lot of the times we try and apply a lot of early on pressure by just having.
You've got the Dynasty Gokus in there, which I guess some of them wouldn't want. They would just run straight into the Gohan and go for the chain up to Victory Strike.
Yeah, that's it. Goku is pretty good for offense and defense. Being able to, like in the first turn, if you're on the draw, you play your turn one Bardock, attack, swap into Goku, attack with your leader. They're normally taking 3 points of damage because people don't really want to combo early on in the game. It's also very good as well that if you swap into a Goku, you're able to attack. If your opponents try to attack you with a Bardock, you have a 15k creature that they have to obviously then commit into to try and defend. So it's pretty good at preserving your life by being able to attack the smaller battle cards and also being able to apply a lot of pressure early on.
Yep. Just for the viewers, there are 4 more cards at the bottom, so that's 2 Planet Vegeta and 2 Time Magic. They're pretty self-explanatory, so that should be fine. I do have a question about the Gine though. Why is that in there?
It helps to fuel the sparking. Height of Mastery needs to swap into it. It needs sorry, not Height of Mastery. Path to Greatness needs
yeah.
Sparking 7. And the easiest way to do that, if you use Guinea to combo with it, it builds up the grade quite easily. So it allows you a bit more successful turn 4 swap without having to overcommit into your combo pieces, which allows you, when you go for the kill, you have a lot more cards to combo out and just try and outvalue your opponent in terms of, you know, being able to make my my victory strike a lot more power than you can protect.
Okay.
It's also good as well. There's a lot of cases, obviously, as I said, you don't always draw the Awaken power, so you need a backup plan. The other backup plan is using Mirror. You can fill up your grave quite easily, again, by just comboing out cards, keeping yourself alive, and also dealing damage to your opponent. Just making a big mirror and attacking it and restanding with your hero power I've won a couple of games with that.
Yeah. Would you consider playing something like Fledgling Talent Pan instead?
I think the problem with Fledgling Talent Pan is it's I don't know. It's not. I would probably try it out. I don't want to say I've not tested it, so
Okay. Yeah.
I would have to try it before I make a judgment on it. I think it's not I don't think Ginny is a pinnacle part of the deck, but it is just nice being able to drop, because obviously it drops itself and 3 other cards in your graveyard while you combo with it. So it gives you 4 cards straight away ready for your swap turn. I haven't tried Fledgling Talent Pan, but I would try it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And how was the Vegeta for you actually? Because that card's kind of useful in some matchups, but completely dead in some others.
I put it in main deck mainly to play against Janemba. A lot of the time they're playing the Deadly Defender Vegetas, so having it main deck is a good way to just shore up that matchup. Obviously, worst case you just charge it or you combo with it, but you can still win on your turn 4 with the Vegeta, because you can awaken when you play Height of Mastery and tap your opponent's energy. You can play the Vegeta, pop their Deadly Defender or whatever blocker is in the card in rest mode, untap an energy with your Broly hero power. So you take a life and ready one of your battle cards or energy, and then you're able to evolve into the Awaken power. It was pretty useful in the mirror as well, just being able to take down the Path of Greatness if they're not expecting it and they're trying to apply pressure. They think they can obviously protect their key pieces. They sometimes don't expect it. So I did catch quite a few people off guard with it.
Okay, yeah, and I guess having the Vegeta would add into running 2 and 2 the super combos.
Yeah, and also with the Vegeta, obviously I was running Planet Vegeta, which is at the bottom of the deck. You're able to tutor the card up in your deck, which in essence gives you 4 copies of the card in a pinch that you're able to find that card if you do need it.
Yep. Would you play the Goku over the Jacko?
Yes. The Goku is obviously a Saiyan, so it does again pair well with Planet Vegeta. So I could see that switch.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So moving on to the side deck, 2 Crushable, which is yeah, that's a good card. 1 Nimbus. Did you feel that was enough? Just a single Nimbus?
Nimbus was a last minute addition, and upon reflection, I'd probably up it to 2. I'd probably cut a Crushable and play another Flying Nimbus. There was a lot of aggressive decks, and I think the Brody deck tends to fold against aggression quite easily. So having an extra copy of Flying Nimbus would be useful, just to obviously buy yourself a lot more time.
Yeah. The Freezer to tap the barrier cards. 3 Universe 7 representative in the side. What was this coming in for?
So Universe 7 representative is for the matchups where you need to win with the Victory Strike Goku as your main win condition, which is mainly for Janemba. You want to be able to find your Victory Strike and keep it in hand before it gets milled. It's the easiest way to win in that matchup. Obviously, they normally play Mafubas to to beat the victory strike. But when you play Height of Mastery and attack, they don't get the opportunity to Mafuba in the same instance.
Yeah.
So having the representative, you basically just want to find your victory strike as quickly as possible. It also does hit your Path of Greatness and your Height of Mastery, so it's not exactly a dead card, but it's just a more efficient way of finding your win condition.
Yep, fine. No, I was just wondering why it wasn't mained, but I guess that's a meta call.
It's 1 mana. I think the deck is trying to be as linear as possible. If you're playing it on turn 1 and turn 2, you're not establishing your board and playing aggression with Bardock and to swap Goku. So if I expected more Janemba, I could see playing it main. But I think the matchup is already heavily in Brody's favor. So I don't think it's necessarily game 1 you need it, but games 2 and 3 you probably just need to make sure you can consistently cast it on 4.
Yep, okay, fair. And another Gohan, that's fine. 2 Kiddies only, 3 Haru Haru, and the Trunks. So, did you feel 1 Trunks was enough? I mean, I'm assuming that's for Janemba as well, in case the Victory Strike gets milled, right?
I brought in Trunks for most of my matchups. The games tend to go on a lot slower, and you also don't obviously always win with the Goku, as I said. So having the Trunks is just a 2-mana 20k double strike that buys back a super combo is pretty good at applying a lot of pressure. If you've been attacking with your Bardock and your Goku, comboing Shugesh into a 3-drop. You play Trunks when you've awakened and untapped your energy, it normally finishes the game. I would have played 2, except I couldn't get hold of a second one. So I ended up playing a third Haru Haru. I would, as I said, I would like to play 2 copies, and I think the card is very good.
Okay, yeah, cool, yeah, because I guess because you've got you've got 2 win cons here. So you've got sort of Stormish win con and the Victory Strike as well. So what were your matchups like at the LPG?
So my first round I played against it was a freezer deck. It was basically Lineage aggro, but it played the freezer that untapped one of your battle cards at the end step.
All right,
so it played Bardock and evolved them into the Great 8 Bardock and basically put a lot of pressure. My next round was against Lineage Broly without the Height of Mastery combo. Okay. My third round, I played against a mono red freezer deck, which, because of my general inexperience of outside meta decks, I don't really know what the main game with the deck was. I think it was quite an aggressive deck that used its leader power to basically cycle through a lot of its deck and try and kill you that way.
The freezer swap chain. So
yeah, that's it. I then played against Dende. And then, so I was 4 at this point. I played against Sandy Carter in the finals. He was on the Brody deck as well, but he was on the World Martial Arts Tournament package. So he played.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Roshi and the other card that basically taps each other and draws cards. So he was just basically stocking his handful of cards to go for the win that way. He beat me on stream, but I was 4-1, so I was second in the standings at that point. My top 8, I played against Baby in the quarters, which I was quite grateful to have obviously the Sun Gohans in that matchup, because it just enabled you to just play the barrier game, so they can't really interact with you. The semi-finals, I replayed the Dende matchup.
Yeah.
And then in the finals,
how was the Dende matchup actually?
Interesting. I didn't really know the deck. As I said, I'm still quite generally new to this game in terms of outside the main meta decks. There's a good meta scene in my local area in Mystic Games in Whitney, but the decks are mainly Janemba, Broly, Pan, Gogeta, Shenron, those types of decks. So when I saw Dende, I didn't really know what the game plan was until we started bringing back the freezer card, which basically takes a card from your hand and puts it into rest mode, but then KO it, play a surprise attack freezer, and basically go for a mid-range kind of game that basically kills you when you can't really do anything. I didn't really find the matchup too difficult. Obviously it is a good it's a good deck, but I think I just played a bit more aggressive and just tried to the matchups. I didn't really know what to do. I just tried to play as an aggressive route as possible.
Okay.
If I couldn't
Yeah.
see the lineup of getting victory strike on turn 4 or turn 5, because I think at that point, if you're not going to consistently play it on turn 4, you're probably dead anyway because you're quite an aggressive leader. That obviously you're drawing cards from your own life. So I just tried to be as aggressive as possible, and was successful.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the reason I was asking is because Dende generally has an okay matchup against the traditional sort of body swap deck, but you've got the storm elements in there as well, so that probably helped you a lot in that matchup.
Yeah, I think so. And then so that was the rematch in the semi-finals. The finals I played against the deck you published, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, Nathan Mills. And,
Yeah, the Ginyu swap deck.
I was gonna say you pretty much play against meta all day, apart from the finals.
Yeah. So I had literally no idea what was going on in that deck. My after I finished the semi-finals, some friends came over to me who I drove up with. They were saying, "Oh, this is a bad matchup for you. This is a bad matchup for you," and I was like, I don't really know what he's doing, to be honest. So he's a great guy. He was basically saying he'll play a card, and if I need to read the card, he'll obviously point it out to me. But I was going to read the cards anyway, obviously. So his turn 1 was search for a 0-star Dragon Ball and a 1-star Dragon Ball. Used a 1-star Dragon Ball to pitch one of the Ginyu cards, which I think when he Charles wishes it back, he
yeah, he basically just peeks his hand out. And then,
yeah, exactly. So I basically had to kill him before turn 3 because in the worst case he would just flip his leader, use his leader's ultimate to bring it back, and just get it reliably that way.
Yeah.
So both games I managed to just aggro him out on turn 2. He won the die roll, so on my turn 1 I was able to play a Bardock and attack him, and then turn 2 I just played the Storm package and just killed him in both games. So he didn't really get to do anything in our games, but I didn't know, like as I said, I didn't really know what his game plan was, so I assumed that his main way to win was on turn 3. So I just need to be as aggressive as possible, and in that matchup I boarded out the victory strike because it's obviously too slow. And obviously his card's got barriers and blockers, so it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like the Storm package won quite a few games for you. In terms of percentage, would you say that won more games or the actual Victory Strike package?
Sorry, I think I phrase up. So what did you say?
In terms of percentage, do you think the Storm package won you more games or the Victory Strike package won you more games?
I think it's close. I'd say the Victory Strike generally won more games, and I think the hardest part of the deck is to decide whether you need to be aggressive or you need to be controlling and just play your combo on turn 4. And a lot of times you have to kind of make that decision after your turn 2. I normally is trying to hold on to my Successor of Hopes as long as possible before I make a decision whether to search up for combo pieces or whether I just need to search up for more Gokus and just try and be as aggressive as possible. I think in the long run, I won more with Victory Strike, but having the Storm package was just so invaluable.
Yeah, it does seem to. It does seem to. Lost for words now. It seems to help with the weaknesses that are in the Victory Strike package.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay. Well, that's great. Do you have anything to add?
No, just a shout out, I guess, for my local store. As I said earlier, Mystic Games, quite a very competitive meta there. We have a lot of upcoming players who are putting a lot of time and dedication into the game. And if you're ever about in Whitney, come on down, and obviously we'll be happy to play some games.
Nice. Well, thank you for that. And yeah, guys, that is the deck profile. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and remember to sub for more content. And that is it for this video, and I will see you guys next time.